That is not the question in front of us today. The question in front of us today is, how are we going to beat Donald Trump? You were in the Clinton campaign in 1992, and the mantra was, it's the economy, stupid. Well, if you look at what Mr. Trump is saying, he's saying those words. It's the economy, stupid. I trust every one of these people 1,000,000 times more. But we're going to have to take Mr. Trump down on the economy, because if you listen to him, he's crowing about it every single day, and he's going to beat us unless we can take him down on the economy, stupid. And that's the issue here. It is not about who has the best health care plan. All the health care plans are better. The question is, who can go toe-to-toe with Mr. Trump? Who can take down Mr. Trump, because he's the real threat to the country? And let me say, you have to have experience to take him down.
Inquiring minds want to know, why exactly did Kamala Harris lose this election? It's the economy, stupid. It's the economy, dummy. Duh. It's the economy, dum-dum. Hello, friend, and welcome back to The Conservative Poet with me, Amania. As you know, on this channel, we talk everything politics, reactions, political commentary, a little bit of humor, some parody to drive home the crazies that we are seeing in the society. So if you're back, that means you enjoyed the content. So help me out, friend. Like, share, and comment. That way other people can find The Conservative Poet and they can enjoy this awesome content that we're putting out. So thank you very much for your participation. Again, like, share, comment. It all helps me out. Without further ado, we're going to get into this video right now. Friends, the blame game has started. It actually started the night of the election. We're going to take in a couple of clips that's going to shed a little bit better lightning on the situation for us as the Democrats starts to eat each other alive. Whose fault was it? Why did this happen? Who's to blame? And everybody is running around like chickens blaming each other. But the biggest blamer of all this, they were blaming the black man. So this brother had something to say about that. How dare you put the numbers that Kamala Harris lost on the black man? Let's hear him out.
And another thing, soon as the election results came in and y'all found out Donald Trump won, the first thing y'all started to do was blame heterosexual black men. That was the first, and I'm glad that somebody put the whole stats up there to see who voted for who before y'all started to blame us for every damn thing. How y'all just come up with any reason to blame us? Hell, last I heard, all us was in jail. How the hell we become the deciding factor? Soon as he win, hey, see, this is what I'm talking about. Some dude on Twitter, this is what I'm talking about. It's the black men. How you know? Who told you? Sir? Sugar pants, who told you? Ready to be mad at us. It's this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, even seeing that 20% of black men voted for Trump, I'm still disappointed. I know it's a big deal. I know that this is a huge gap. They did a huge thing, this 20%, but man, I was really, really hoping that it'd be like 30%, maybe 50%. I really was. I was hoping that the Black Cavalry would be the one to deliver the win for Trump. Brothers, y'all did good. You did good. But I was really hoping that there would be more of you out here stomping it for Trump. But we'll have to take 20%. It's progress. Maybe 2028, different story. Maybe by 2028, we'll be looking at that 30%, 40% margin. But the men overall did not fail because the Latino men were the Trojan horse in this race. 54% of Latino men came out in droves for Donald Trump. I mean, it's historic, this number, historic. And look at this. Normally, the Black woman votes for Trump, votes for the Democrat Party 99%, right? Or at least 98%. So 7% of Black women voted for Trump, myself included in that percentage. So I guess we're doing better too. Black women are doing better for Trump because that means 5% more Black women voted for Trump than they did ever before. We pulled 5% away from the Democrats to vote for Trump. It's a beginning, friends. It's a beginning. So I'm disappointed, but still happy that it is not 98, 99%, but 92% to the Democrats. So we're doing better. We're doing better. And brother, on behalf of the society, we do apologize for y'all being blamed for this. It should be the Latinos that's being blamed for this. Friend, are you exhausted with the gaslighting from the left? Because I know I am. And sometimes it can be a tad bit stressful. And in those moments, I whip out my patriotic candles and I burn for freedom. I burn for our country. And I get a little bit of relief from the insanity that's coming from the left. So today you can get it 30% off at the Orlando Patriot. Grab yourselves some candles to relieve your stress as we hone into this election and it's becoming more and more stressful. Grab some for your friends, family, even grab some for a liberal or a leftist because they are stressed out too. So 30% off orlandopatriot.com. I'll see you there. Thank you. I really appreciate your help. So the morning after the election, while we were basking in the glory of the win and just feeling wonderful and thanking God for this victory, thanking God for this wonderful, wonderful thing that has happened, there were some that were having grievances. There were some that were having a bad morning. There were some that were having some issues. And Morning Joe, of course, brought in the Reverend Al Sharpton, the number one race hustler on the planet, to discuss the loss of the Black Queen, the loss of the Indian Black Queen, who couldn't pull it across the aisle. He had to talk about why he believed that Kamala Harris lost this thing. I'm going to let him talk a little bit about that. Here you go, Reverend.
Let's bring into the conversation the president of the National Action Network, the host of MSNBC's Politics Nation, the Reverend Al Sharpton. Rev, good morning. I know you were with the Harris campaign last night. Obviously, as the night went on, things became more and more grim for them, ending with shock probably this morning as this race was called for Donald Trump.
No, probably shock would be the word for many that were at the Howard University party, and then disbelief. I think also what we've got to deal with, you're correct when you say the economy was weighed on a lot of the voters around the country, and a distorted view of the economy. Let's remember Donald Trump is an expert promoter, and he was able to get a lot of myths across the table that really were not true, but it was not well promoted on the other side.
With all due respect, and I say it loosely, Reverend, with all due respect, the Donald Trump campaign did not exaggerate anything. And I can tell you from my own experience as a person living in the society, the prices of things surely changed. I drive a small Volvo. Used to cost me $20 to fill her up. But in this Joe Biden economy, Kamala Harris economy, I was paying $45 to $50 to fill up. That's not games. That's a reality. That's a fact. I was purchasing eggs from Publix. I was paying $9 for a carton. That's not a myth. That was a fact, reality. Young people unable to rent on their own, can't even buy a house, young couples, that's not a myth. That's a fact. So when you say that Donald Trump were making it magical for people to not see the truth, the realities of what's going on. No, we saw the realities and we said no to Kamala Harris and the Biden administration extremes. It's the economy, stupid.
So we've lost, but we lost a battle. The war is not over.
Well, Rev, let's talk about, you talked about gender and race. Let's talk about race. Donald Trump fared very well with Hispanic voters, especially Hispanic men. The numbers are coming in still a little early, but I think he did better with black men than was expected in the past. What do you think pushed that, especially with the Hispanic voters going for Donald Trump as much as they did? Because that made a big difference.
I think that a lot of it was he was able to sell a lot of Hispanic voters that immigration was a threat to them, that some of the people coming across the border was a threat to them. I think that we've got to be honest, among Hispanic men and black men, there's a lot of misogyny. And I think that we've got to deal with the reality that he appealed to this whole false macho thing that some black men and some Latino men went for. I think that we cannot sit around just bedwetting. We've got to deal with the reality, and we've got to deal with the situation as it is in our own communities.
Well, Reverend, the reality is people are seeing the truth for themselves. Black men saw it a little bit. The black woman is seeing it a little bit. And they are literally packing up and leaving the Democrat plantation. And race hustlers like you, who push everything is about race, about gender. Oh, the men, they're misogynies. Men are not prepared to have a woman rule. No, you know what? At some point, we do want a woman. But Indian Kamala Harris being portrayed as a black woman was not the it. Okay, she's unlikable. She's unrelatable. Nobody knows her. She cackles like a hyena. Nobody understands what she be saying with her word salads. No. America saw that and they says, you know what? We can do better. She ain't it. We're moving on. And the Latino men saw that in droves and they literally packed up their wagons and they moved on. Right? So it's not about color or men not wanting a woman. At some point, yes, we will have a woman, but Kamala Harris ain't it. Well, Reverend, the reality is people are seeing the truth.
There are so many questions for the Democrats to answer, but one of them, the one that's that I just saw that's going to be staring them in the face for some time if they don't do something about it, is that 45% of Hispanics voted for Donald Trump.
45.
That is George W. Bush. I remember when George W. Bush got 44% of the vote in 2004. It sent shockwaves. Yeah. This also, if you look at this, if you look at younger voters, you look at all these different, we've all been talking about a new Republican Party. There needs to be a new Republican Party. This morning, this is about as bleak as any time for Democrats since the so-called 1984 San Francisco Democrats. It's time for the Democrats to take a good, long, hard look at how this happened. And if they just say Trump bad, Democrats virtuous, they're going to keep losing. Because this, again, is so widespread. This is not about just Donald Trump. This is about the Democratic Party and being radically disconnected from the rest of the country. Look at the map.
Every last Democrat is responsible for what we're seeing, because this party has gone so far off the deep end that there's no surviving of it. The fact that people are voting for people, or they're praising people, candidates, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, all of them, they're praising people that's saying it is okay to murder babies 9 months in the womb after they've been born. That's crazy. That's murder. So why would people vote for that? Why would people vote for cutting off, deforming children so that they can become a different sex or a different gender? Yeah, that's out there. Nobody wants that. And then to have a wide open border where millions and millions of people are coming into the country, where we as taxpayers have to take care of these people. No, that's too far. That's too much. So these are the reasons. And nobody wants to pay $10 for eggs, $9 for eggs. No. People want to be able to buy a house someday. Nobody wants to have to pay an exuberant amount of money to fill up your gas tank, to pay for your heating bill. Nobody wants that. When I leave the grocery store and I've spent $100, I want to have more than 5 items in my basket. I actually need to be pushing a cart, not holding a little hand thing. I need a full cart. And this is the reality. It's the economy, stupid. Whose fault is it? Who are we going to blame? Well, here's a little montage of what the Democrats are saying. And we're going to start off with the Queen Bee herself. Not Kamala Harris, but the original Queen Bee, Nancy Pelosi.
Democrats now grappling with their stunning loss and trying to figure out what went wrong.
Had the president gotten out sooner, there may have been other candidates in the race. Kamala, I think, still would have won, but she may have been stronger, having taken her case to the public sooner.
I think people never got to know Kamala Harris during the time she was in this campaign.
If the goal is to win elections on Twitter, then you should embrace movements like defund the police. But if the goal is to win elections in the real world, where it matters, then you have to appeal to working class people of color.
The party itself has increasingly become a smarty pants, suburban, college educated party.
I take issue sometimes with people saying, oh, the quote unquote left is the reason why this is happening. The ultimate problem is our ability to clearly and forthrightly advocate for an agenda that clearly champions the working class.
Joe Biden's decision to run for president again was a catastrophic mistake.
But we can all unite in knowing that Joe Biden would have lost and deserves a lot of blame for the situation that we're in.
Seen that, heard that, good. It's Joe Biden, stupid. So everybody is throwing old Joe under the bus because they believe that he should have dropped out so that they could have had a primary democracy, so that they could have had a primary, so that they could have had their pick of whoever they would go with. But old Joe was so stubborn and he did not want to leave. And so therefore, we're in this situation. Kamala lost to Trump because Joe did it. Joe Biden did it. He's to blame for all of this. It's not the economy, stupid. Well, friends, I personally believe that the Democrats should just keep going far and far and far and far. They should go so far as to advocate I know they advocate for this, secretly, but to bring it to the public square where they're advocating for humans to mate with animals, you know? I think we're gonna end up there. That's how far left the Democrats are going. They're going all the way in with lunacy and demonicness and craziness and satanicness. They're going all the way. And so this is going to just continue to shine the light on who and what these people are. Because mark my words, friend, one day, just like we're talking right now about transgenderism and women cutting off parts to become men and men cutting off parts to become women, and you're walking into a woman's restroom and they have urinals for men to pee in the woman's urinal in the women's bathroom. Like, yeah, this is where we're at. So I wouldn't be surprised if one day we're seeing people advocating out here to say, I have the right to marry my pet. I have the right to have sexual intercourse and sexual rendezvous with my pet because I am a pet attracted person. I'm just saying. This is where we're headed with the Democrat Party. And the sooner we get there, the sooner the rapture will come and all this will be over. Anyway, friends, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for taking the time. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for watching, sharing, liking, and subscribing the content, sending it out there to YouTube world so YouTube knows that you enjoy this content and the algorithm will share it with more people. It really helps me out. And I want to say thank you. If you caught the live stream, I was in the park yesterday with the other YouTubers. Shout out to E-Trade Travel. Shout out to Adam Francisco. Shout out to Paint the Trump. And shout out to me, the conservative poet, because we killed it. And my live stream from the park yesterday hit the highest number I've hit on this channel thus far. I was shocked. So, and I gained I gained a couple of hundred subscribers. So I'm really pumped today. I'm like, oh my God, can I really just hit the 10,000 mark like before Christmas if we continue this? So I'm really, really excited, friends. So please share the content. It's really gonna help me to get to this goal. Like I had this goal last year, it didn't happen. So let's make it happen in 2024 for Christmas because I really need that. So thank you so much for helping me out here. And don't forget, you can help the channel as well. I have my membership subscription. It's only $4.99. It really helps me with this channel. And I'm actually going to be looking to raise some funds because I may end up at the inaugural in January. I did not make it in 16. We're going to not talk about 21. And so I want to get out there. So any kind of donations would really help me to do that because it is very expensive to go out there. So if you'd like to see your girl live at inauguration in January 20th, then, a couple of thank yous, would really, really help me out and getting me prepared for that trip. And of course, you guys, I will share the experience with you. So that's another thing. If you would like to give some donation to the channel and help me to get to Washington, D.C. for Donald Trump's inauguration. So thank you very much. I'll see you in another video. God bless and keep. Links are in the box.